You do all this work, you spend all this money, and you're getting calls or people that are interested in getting your home care services. However, it's not turning into people signing the contract, you getting the assessment. That's a bad thing, because if you don't get the contract signed, you don't get paid. So these scripts and these lessons I'm going to teach you are adapted from $1 million home care aides that work for them, so they'll definitely work for you. So if you don't know me, my name is Aaron, your go-to home care marketer to get private pay clients. If you want more videos like this and you want to know the best ways to get private pay clients, not only get them through marketing, but also how to get them to sign on the dotted line, be sure to hit a like and subscribe to this video. As you guys know, I'm still a very small YouTuber, and every like and subscribe helps, is loved, and is heard. Also, leave a comment below of where you're coming from. I always love to see where different people are watching my video, and I'll give you a shout out. I'll respond to any comment that you have. So before we get what to say word for word, we need to understand the goal of the conversation, the goal of the call. The goal of the initial call when they're first speaking with you is to understand their needs and provide as much value as possible to them before you ask for the next step. So it's important to understand that, because if people call and then they immediately ask you for the rate and you give it to them, they're just going to be like, oh, that's too expensive, or oh, that's too much, and then hang up. When people ask for the price, you don't want to give it up outright. Why is that so? So if you just give the price outright, you immediately commoditize yourself as just another agency that they're going to box you in with, and then they're going to take that price you give them, go to another agency and ask for a lower price, or they come back to you and they say, hey, this other agency offered a lower price, can you go even lower than that? So what it does is that it's a disservice to not only yourself, but to your client as well, because if you can't get the hourly rate that you need or that you want, you can't give them the best quality care that they need in order to reach overall their dream outcome, which is have them or a loved one feel safe at home. So what we want to do, we don't want to ignore the price. We want to just take it off the table. There are things that are more of a priority than the price. So think of it this way. Imagine you get hurt or you get deathly ill, or you or a loved one gets deathly ill and they need the medication to save their life. What's the first thing you're going to think about? The first thing you're going to think about is, how can I get this medication, or how can I do this thing that's going to save my life, that's going to fulfill my need? You're not going to immediately think, what's the price of this? Or even if you do hear the price, you're going to hear, you know what, it's okay. I'm going to pay this price because I know I really need it. I know the value that this drug or this procedure, this treatment is offering. Thus, I need to know that, hey, this works for me first. And then with the price, I'm going to pay it because I need it. As a quick rule of thumb, if you ignore the rest of this video, you don't want to give them rates under any circumstance until you have gotten their best contact information, so their name and their phone number, so you can follow up with them. And then you need to learn also exactly what you're looking for. If they say, oh, my mom needs 4 to 5 hours of care, that isn't enough. That's just the surface level of everything. You need to also know, what kind of care does she need? Does she want help showering? How about cooking and nutrition? Is she eating well? How about moving around the home? Does she make a mess? Does she have outbursts that needs to be controlled and managed? How does she usually act? You need to go deeper into the conversation so that you can offer a actual personalized care solution, and not just a cookie cutter box solution that every other home care agency offers of, just personal care, companion care. You can offer something like, hey, we can help your mom shower from 10 a.m. to 10:30. We can help her take the medication that she needs. We can do things to help make the environment better for her, so that way the outbursts go down. You can see how much value you can offer when you get into a deeper level. So this is what I do as well with my clients who come and book a one-on-one consultation with me. It's a free meeting, so if you need help with your home care marketing, so you can start getting calls like this, you can feel free to book a call using the link in the description. And one thing to note is, you want to try to always really go for the assessment, even if the customer hesitates or claims that they can't really afford it. Remember, you've been in this space for decades, they really haven't. And there may be local grants, local opportunities that you may know about. Maybe there's a friend or family member that's going to help them pay for care. There's a lot of different ways that people can pay for care. If you guys want me to make a video about that, of how you can help your client pay for care, I'll be happy to do so. Just make sure you leave a like and comment on this video. But there's many ways that you can help the person get the proper care they need. So booking an in-home assessment can really help you out, especially because other home care agencies are going to turn it down when they say, oh, I can't afford it. If you say, hey, you know what, I'll take a shot, I'll offer value, and I'll try the assessment, who knows, you may be able to find out that they can afford it, or they may be able to get siblings to help you pay for care. Thus, you earn the case compared to the other. So just as a quick snippet of what to say if they just immediately ask you for what the prices are, here's exactly what you want to say. You can say, I'm happy to give you a price. However, each situation is unique, just like your family is unique and not like any other family. Can you share with me more information about your situation? That way I can give you a 99% accurate cost. So it's an easy way to kind of push price off to the side of the table, learn about their needs, and establish the value that you can bring. Okay, so let's get into the basic script that you can use, that you can say word for word, that's going to help you get clients. Of course, you don't want to sound like a robot and say these words exactly. You want to make it your own style, make it sound natural to you. So you're getting a call and you say, thank you for calling, your company name. This is your first name. How can we help you today? Then the customer's going to say, hi, I'm calling to get home care, or I'm calling to get service, to get more information from my mom. Or they say, they're not really sure what their mom needs, or they immediately ask, how much do you charge? So, of course, if they ask how much do you charge, we want to reiterate what we said before of I'm happy to give you a price once I understand your situation. But if they say, I need help from my mom, or, I need more information. So if they say a specific service, so let's say, oh, my mom needs help showering and moving around the house, you can say something like, this is something that we can help with, your mom showering or moving around the house, something along those lines. Then you want to say, I'm going to ask you a couple questions to ensure I understand your situation and give you the best answer possible, the best advice possible. It should not take long. This is important. You want to say it shouldn't take long so people don't think, oh, I'm going to be here for hours. This is going to be like a 20, 30-minute conversation. You want to say, it shouldn't take long, or it should take less than 5 minutes. So that way people know, okay, this isn't going to take long. People live busy lives. They don't want to be on the phone. Then you want to get the information. Can I get your name and number in case we get disconnected? And I always say a reason of why they should give you their information. So you got the information. So now you can say, okay, thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about your situation, about your loved one and what they need or what you may need? And then what you want to do is they're going to start going on about their story of what they need and, a lot of background on that. Overall, you want to let them talk. Do not interrupt them at all. You want to let them talk. And even when they stop talking, you want to pause for at least 3 seconds. So count to 3 in your head. 1, 2, 3. And then you want to move on with the next things that you want to say. You want to jot down as much information as you can, or at least remember it, or at least know if you can help them. So let's say, they're talking and you hear that they need some sort of physical therapy, occupational therapy, they need some sort of skilled nursing service, and you don't really offer that. Something in my mouth. Sorry, but there's a big hair on my on my beard. You could say something like, I wish we could help you, wish we can cover those services, but unfortunately at this time we do not. We can help you with whatever services you do cover. So, if your mom does need help showering or taking a bath or getting fed or grooming or anything like that, is that something you need? And then you want to ask this question, because just because they're getting occupational therapy doesn't mean doesn't mean that they don't need help with other things. So you want to make sure you ask this, because a lot of people, they'll hear, oh, they need therapy. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, we don't do that. And then they'll hang up the phone. You want to say, okay, yes, we don't do that, but we can help you with something else. And then if they say, yes, I actually do need help with that, then boom, you just saved the call. You can still go ahead and offer them service if they need it, because Medicare only covers those specific services anyway. They're going to need somebody else. They're going to need a private pay home care agency to cover if they do need help bathing, grooming, feeding, mobility help, all that kind of stuff. So let's say you're talking to them and they do say that, hey, I do need help with bathing, grooming. My mom just had an accident, or she's getting out of surgery and she needs help with X, Y, and Z, and there's services you can cover. So then you want to move on to the next part of the script. So they're already listing out what they need. So they're already kind of listing out their pains for the most part, right? Because if they need this stuff, these are the current pains that they're going through. So we want to kind of dig into it a little bit deeper. So you want to say, thanks for letting me know. Have there been any accidents that we should be aware about? or are you scared of a specific accident happening? So this is just digging more into of what is gonna happen if you don't get our services. So maybe an accident happened that you obviously they don't want another accident to happen again, or maybe there's a specific accident that was close to happening. So maybe she like slipped on the stairs a little bit, but she was able to catch her balance. Or maybe she left the stove on, but you caught it in time, so you were able to turn off the stove before a fire can happen. You don't want to understand just their current pains, but their future pains as well. So that way, it kind of paints the picture of, okay, this is what you're dealing with now, and then this is what you could be dealing with in the future if you don't get this problem solved, or if you don't get a caregiver in the home. And then the next question you want to ask once you see if they've had any accidents, sometimes they say yes to it and they go on tangent. Sometimes they say no. The next thing you want to do is, okay, what is the hope you have for your loved one in this situation? So you want to ask, what kind of outcome do you want them to have? So this is just saying, what kind of dream outcome do you want? Do you just want your mom to be comfortable? Do you want your mom to be happy? Have the peace of mind knowing that your mom is taken care of? So usually they'll say something like, hey, I just want to make sure that my mom is okay, that she gets what she needs to live well. And what all that's going to do is it's going to build trust between you and the person that is calling for home care. So once they list their dream outcome, or if they say something along those lines, you can say something like, thanks so much for sharing this information. We know it's not easy going through it and we truly appreciate it. Just to make sure I heard you correctly, your loved one say something that they told you that they answered from the first question. So your loved one needs help bathing. You're worried about your mom slipping from getting out of the tub, and you hope that your mom stays well, clean, and safe at home. Is that all correct? So overall, you want to restate what they said. So that way it again shows you're listening, it's active listening, and people who actively listen to each other, guess what? It builds trust and it builds credibility and it gets them to know you, like you, and trust. And then once they confirm everything you said, now you want to say, thank you for letting me know I have a great caregiver in mind that can help you ease whatever action or worry they have and help your loved one, whatever they said to question 3, aka get the dream outcome. And then also, if you want as well, after this, you can provide more value of what you can do or suggestions to help their mom in their current situation. And then after you provided value, you know exactly what they need, you know the problems that they're facing. You want to offer them the next step of a no obligation assessment. So this is where one of your nurses or you or a case manager will come in and talk to the loved one. They get to know you and discuss ways to get the best care that you need. Again, you want to reiterate that assessment is no obligation. It's our way of helping you get to the next step. And then you want to offer a date. You want to offer a date as soon as possible. So if today's Monday, you want to say, is tomorrow or Wednesday better for the in-home assessment? Okay, and then from there, it's very simple. You just go ahead and you book the assessment. You get their address and everything like that, and then you go ahead and you conduct the assessment. I'm not going to get into it in this video because I want to get into the objections of what to do when people are hesitant or they're asking some questions and what to say to those questions. So the biggest objection that I hear is that they're hampering to know about price. So again, you want to make sure you get all the information first. You want to make sure you go through at least the first part of the script to get their dream outcome, what their mom needs or what their loved one needs. Our services that can help you, you want to reiterate what they said to help you, help your mom stay clean through bathing, alleviate worries and, realize your dream outcome. You can say you can give a range. So you can say it can be from $27 to $36 an hour, or you can give them a price outright and say, hey, we charge $30 an hour to help your mom live well, etc., etc. And then you want to get into, it depends on the level of services that you need. And then you want to say a care specialist can help you build a personalized care plan that's going to fit your budget. And then you want to say what else you can take. So if you can take long-term care insurance, if you take VA insurance, if you take Medicaid or anything like that, you want to make sure you say that as well. If they say, oh, that's a high price, I don't think I can afford it, you want to let them know of other options that you can go through with them during the in-home assessment. So some ways that you can help someone afford care is they could apply to local grants and things like that. There's a lot of web resources that you can go above and beyond for the client, which you need to do in order to get clients nowadays. You can't just do the bare minimum and expect maximum results. There's so many accounts that could pay for home care. There's IRAs, retirement accounts, there's checkings, there's savings, there's a health savings account, 401k, and all these different retirement accounts. And even some insurances that will pay for care. So if you accept long-term care insurance, which most home care agencies do, that can help pay for care. They could ask friends and family members to help them pay for care. So maybe $30 an hour is a lot to help someone's mom get care, but maybe they have two other siblings, and then they could each chip in a third of the cost. So overall, to that one person, it's just $10 an hour. And one thing, if you don't have many reviews or testimonials, I would say take a discount and work with the client just in exchange for a positive review or testimonial. It could be a temporary discount as well, because that review and testimonial is going to go such a long way in terms of getting other people to trust you, but also helping you rank higher on Google. And then the next objection you're most likely going to get is when they say, I need to think about it. I get this objection all the time. So here's how you can handle it. Okay, I understand this isn't an easy decision, but you know that your mom or your dad or your loved one needs the care, right? And it's like, yes, we do really need the care. Then you want to say, okay, is there any more information that you need? Do you need to know anything else before you can make that decision? So you want to pretty much ask, okay, you say you need to think about it. What do you need to think about in order to actually go forward? Okay, so what you want to say is, okay, we want to make sure you get all the information you need to make the best decision possible for your family. The only way to get all the information you need is for us to do an in-person assessment. That way, we can get a clear idea of what your needs and uncover aspects that you may not be aware of, or to help inform your other loved ones of the exact care needs. You can say an analogy saying, think of it like getting your car fixed. You're not going to have all the information in terms of the repairs that it needs until you bring it into the shop. Again, there's no obligation to go with us after the assessment. Shall we go ahead and book you? So you make it clear, especially with the analogy, that they'll get all the information they need during the assessment, because when they need to think about it, they need to think about the information. They might want to gather more information as well. So you can push for the assessment and say, hey, we can deliver you that more personalized information that you need to make the best decision for your loved one. So let's say you go through all this, they give you objections and you're still not able to book the assessment. That is going to happen. It's not like any of these things are magic pills. You want to be able to nurture and follow up with them. So usually if people who work with me, clients who work with me, they don't have to worry about that. I have an automatic sequence that goes and nurtures the potential client for 30 plus days. It sends texts and emails, mostly giving value to the prospective client based on their needs, but also, asking for the sale as well if they're ready to book an assessment now that they've gotten more value. So, if you want to know more information of how I set something like that up, again, feel free to book a free marketing strategy call for your home care agency. However, what you want to say is, I understand this may not be the right time. Please let us know when you're ready to start. In the meantime, I want to send you resources that's going to help you through this time. What's the best email address? And then what this does is it shows that you're not only there to make the sale, but you actually want to help them as well. And then they give you the email address so you can follow up through email, phone, and text for at least 30 days before you call it a lost cause. And then if they refuse to give you an email, just say, it's okay, we'll reach out. Again, just follow up through calling and through texting. And then if after a month they're still not willing to work with you, then it is a lost cause from there. But notice how much value that we've given to the person and how we're able to deal with the objection so that we can get over the in-home assessment. It's not just, hey, I need home care. Okay, we charge $36 an hour, and then hope and pray that they go with us. No, we structure it in a way that we understand their needs, we understand their problems, we show how we're the bridge to get them to where they want to be, and then we go ahead and then we ask for the next steps. That's all we're doing. So if you want to see this live in action, I actually have a video up here of a live call of someone, talking with a potential client and booking an assessment with them. So I'll see you guys in that video. Take care.